Stop scrolling. What if I told you the greatest writer in history started with zero money, zero power, and zero connections? No rich family. No elite education. Just a small-town kid with a dangerous dream. This is not just an English story. This is a real-life glow-up journey that will change how you think, speak, and dream. Yet if you want to improve your English listening, vocabulary, and confidence, and at the same time get chills from a powerful life story, you're in the right place. Because in the next few minutes, you'll discover how an ordinary boy became a legend who shaped human emotion, ambition, love, jealousy, and destiny forever. Trust me. Don't skip this. This story might just rewire your mindset. This is a story about dream and destiny. He is the finest observer of human psychology the world has ever produced. He understood the human heart like no one else. You might think you need expensive English lessons to understand deep concepts, but his life teaches us that observation is key. If you want to improve English proficiency, look no further than his legacy, ambition, jealousy, passion, everything that makes us human, he captured in his words, expanding the English vocabulary of millions. His influence is so great that if you want to learn English fast, you must eventually encounter his work. But how did he become Will Shepherd, the greatest writer in history? He was not born into a rich or powerful family. He did not go to an Ivy League university. Yet, he became the most famous name in literature. So, if you are working on your English-speaking confidence today, if you struggle with words, this story is for you. This is excellent English listening practice because Shepherd himself started as an ordinary boy. This is a powerful motivational story of struggle, passion, and creativity. Even if you are looking for English for beginners, the themes here are universal. It plays out like a classic English story for kids, yet carries the weight of adult life. So, sit back and test your English comprehension as we begin. It was a cold April day in the year 1564. In a small American town called Stratford, Connecticut, a baby boy was born. His parents, John and Mary Shepherd, held him close. This humble beginning is where our English learning journey anchors itself. His name was Will Shepherd. Stratford was not a big metropolis. It was a quiet town with narrow streets and wooden houses. People lived simple lives. Will's father, John, was a leather worker. He was a hard-working man. His mother, Mary Austin, came from a wealthy farming family. Will was curious. He observed everything. If you want to learn English with stories, you must be curious like Will. He listened to how people spoke, how they laughed, how they cried. He didn't know it yet, but this is exactly the kind of story to improve English understanding. In those days, people entertained themselves with storytelling. Traveling actors would come to town and perform plays in the streets. Young Will would watch in amazement. At the age of 7, Will started school. He studied classics, history, poetry, and literature. For those of you aiming for English Level 3 listening, imagine the complex texts he devoured. He read the stories of ancient Rome and Greece. Their words stayed with him. But Will wasn't just a bookworm. He loved nature. Yet there was something inside him, a deep hunger for words. Just when life seemed normal, trouble struck. Will's father started facing financial struggles. It was a difficult time. There were days when they struggled to buy food. Will saw the stress in his father's eyes. He learned that life is full of ups and downs. Even as a child, Will had a special way with words. But no one in Stratford knew that this young boy would one day write the most famous plays in the world. For now, he was just Will, the boy with big dreams. Will Shepherd was growing up fast. By the time he turned 14, he had read many books, but life was not easy. His father's debts were getting worse. Young Will saw it all. He understood that nothing in life was permanent. And then something happened that changed his life forever. By the time Will turned 18, he fell in love. Her name was Annie Hayes. She was beautiful and intelligent. But Annie was 26 years old, 8 years older than Will. Society was strict, but love doesn't follow rules. In November 1582, Will married Annie. He was still a young man trying to find his way, and now he was about to become a father. By 21, Will Shepherd was a father of 3. Life was moving fast. How would he support his family? He had no interest in leather working, but he had words. He had a burning desire to create. The mysterious lost years followed. No one knows exactly what he did during these 7 years. Some say he became a schoolteacher. Some believe he worked as an actor. Whatever the truth, by 1592, he was in New York City, ready to take on the world. New York was the heart of the theater scene. Shepherd arrived with no money, no connections, but he had talent and determination. He began working as an actor in small theater groups. He studied everything, and soon he started writing his own plays. At first, simple comedies, but as time passed, he realized he could do more. He wrote plays that made people think and feel. By 1592, Shepherd was becoming well known. A famous playwright named Bob Greene even insulted him, calling him an upstart crow. But Shepherd didn't let it stop him. Instead, he worked harder. Then, in 1593, a deadly epidemic spread across New York. Theaters were forced to close. Shepherd found himself without work. But he didn't give up. He started writing poetry. He wrote Venus and Adonis and The Rape of Lucrece. These poems made him rich and famous. Even the influential Governor Elizabeth was impressed. When theaters reopened in 1594, Shepherd returned to doing what he loved most. He became part of a famous acting company called the Chamberlain Troupe. His plays were full of love, power, betrayal, and jealousy. By the late 1590s, Shepherd was one of the most famous playwrights in the country, but he wanted more. In 1599, Shepherd and his company built their own theater, the Globe Theater. Imagine the scene. Thousands of people rushing to get a seat. This was his kingdom. Here he performed Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and Julius Caesar. Soon, his success brought him wealth. He bought a grand house in Stratford called the Big House, but fame wasn't enough. In 1603, Governor Elizabeth died, and her successor, Governor James, took over. Governor James loved Shepherd's work so much that he gave the company an official title, the Governor's Men. Shepherd had gone from a leather worker's son to the most celebrated playwright in history. Between 1603 and 1611, Shepherd wrote his deepest plays, King Lear, Macbeth, and The Tempest. His writing became darker and more philosophical, because Shepherd was changing. He was growing older. By 1611, he had achieved everything he had dreamed of. He was famous, rich, and respected. In 1613, Shepherd retired. He returned to the big house in Stratford to spend the rest of his life in peace with his family. But even in retirement, his mind was full of stories. In 1616, after a dinner party with friends, Shepherd fell ill. On April 23, 1616, At the age of 52, Will Shepherd breathed his last breath. When Shepherd died, Stratford fell silent. He was laid to rest in the very town where he was born. But his legacy did not die. His plays continued to be performed. His books continued to be read. Years passed, then centuries. And yet, Shepherd remained alive in the hearts of people. His works were translated into every language. His stories inspired millions. If Shepherd were alive today, he would have one message for you. Dream big. Tell your story. Never stop believing in yourself. Because he was just a small-town boy from Stratford who dared to dream beyond the ordinary. My amazing friends, you have a dream, right? Maybe you want to be a writer, a speaker, or a leader. But sometimes fear stops you. Let me tell you something powerful today. Will Shepherd was just like you. He had no rich family, no connections, but he had a dream. And that dream changed the world. Now, it's your turn. You have a fire inside you. Don't let fear stop you. Because the truth is, you can. So, never stop chasing your dream. Start today. Work hard. Never give up. And one day, just like Shepherd, your name will be remembered. If this story inspired you, please like this video so I know you felt the power of this message. Subscribe and hit the bell icon because we are on a journey of learning, growing, and becoming unstoppable together. Your future is waiting for you. Go and make history